good to see you. And thanks for coming onto this new little mini series I'm going to do here about just talking about copy and design, how they work together, and why people need to really hire both when it comes to getting a website up and going. If they're not going with an agency, it's important to hire both, because they're both experts in their own way. But they overlap too. And so before we jump into the conversation, can you just introduce yourself and your business and yeah, a little bit of your background?
Yeah, sure. So, hey, on March, I have founded Magma Designs this year. So, for the past 6 years, I have been working with marketers, and now I want to make something out of my own. So, I help female entrepreneurs empower their brands, make sure that they stand from the crowd, they stand from their bucket. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. Okay, let me just give her Netflix. Okay. Okay. So yeah, to continue, I help female entrepreneurs be empowered, feel confident about their brand, their positioning, the way they present themselves in the crowd, and attract the right people towards them through their brand and website.
So when someone comes to you, I'm curious to know, I've been asking everyone this, when they come to you, are they coming to you for the whole enchilada? Do they know they need to hire a copywriter? Do you sometimes write copy? Are they writing their own copy? What does that usually look like with your clients?
Yeah, so normally I would just focus on design and then I will refer them to a copywriter that I am working with. But in most cases, since they are female entrepreneurs with soul-led brands, they mostly have their copywriting like on point, or they want their own, flavor inside it. So they would rather have it, sent to me, or they would be preparing it before we implement them in the design.
Right, yeah, because that was something I know I've been talking with other copywriters about is like really you want to have the copy and design kind of happen at the same time. Now, I've had copywriters say, "Oh, the copy needs to come first so the designers know how to go about designing and templating and knowing where the copy goes." But I'm curious to hear what your thoughts are on that. If you agree with that, or if you think there's a blend, or you think design should come first.
Yeah, so I have worked with both scenarios in the past. So what really worked well is make sure that there is a copy first so that they can implement it better in the design. Because what's happening is the designers will just, um, prepare it on a specific layout. And if the copy does not fit on a layout, they need to recompose the layout of the design. So it would be really nice if the copy comes first before they section it, or for example, the copy requires 3 columns and then you just created two, or the sort. So yeah, that it will be really helpful for the copy to be bring out first.
Yeah, okay. That's cool to hear. It's cool. It's nice to hear the consistency among
Mm.
copywriters and designers. Like, let's get the copy first. That way we can figure out the design because I have heard of
Yes.
designers who do like website in a week or like kind of
Hmm.
little more quicker projects like that, but they don't get the copy beforehand and then they get
Yeah.
it and they're like, "Oh crap, now I have to either redo my whole design or see if we can edit down the copy." A lot of times too, I think when clients write their own copy, it's unfortunate because there's so much that they miss when they DIY their
Hmm.
copy. And, it's someone else said this to me. I'll give her the credit here. Jill Hill, she said, you can't really see the label of the jar when you're inside the jar, right? So having
Yes.
that strategy and having that outside perspective to really like see the bigger picture and to like pull out things that you might not see in yourself or in your business is so helpful and can really increase conversions to have that conversion copy and the design
Yes.
that will also help to convert too.
Yes, yes. And the good thing about having the copy first is that it tends to give the designer a very solid picture of how it should be presented. So that's one thing too.
Now, what do you like? Do you like it? Do you prefer it? If you were to, talk to a copywriter, I guess I'm one, right? But if you were to like work with someone, do you like it in a Google Doc? Do you like it in like a wireframe? Is that really helpful for you? And then you kind of communicate and tweak things as you know you see fit.
Yeah, yeah. So normally, I would ask for like the headers first, like for example, the header or the H1 and then the H2, then the H3s inside the H2 and all sort of that. So if the writer prefers to be in Google Doc, that's wonderful because Google Doc is, the simplest form to receive it.
Okay,
Also Google Doc has, these tabs now. They have been updated.
that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. So you can before I receive it like in by batch. Now I just receive one talk. It's everything. So
yeah,
yeah,
that's true. That's true. Because they, for those who are listening who don't know, I mean, Google Docs has the tabs, so you can have tabs and subtabs. And I like it's so nice because I can just put a whole bunch of campaign, like for me, email campaigns too in there, and it's just all organized, and you can click through it, and it's not super
yes,
messy or really long document.
so true,
Yeah, that's
so
true. Or you
true.
have your pages, so the home page, the about page, it could all be in one Google Doc. It's really, really,
Yes, yep.
yeah. Do you work with excuse me, do you work with um because I noticed on your site you have like you do some brand strategy. So from a copywriter's perspective, that's really nice when like if, I'm
Yeah,
working with you and you have done that strategy piece already,
yes.
because, I still might have some questions that I want to ask to fill in the gaps, but you already have that. Do you find that when you're working with other copywriters, um, that I don't know that's a really significant piece for them. I know it is for me.
Yes. Yes, it is because along with the brand strategy is the voice of the brand. So if we know, like for example, the brand wants to be, no fluff, very straight to the point, very matter of fact. So the copy should, reflect that. So that's a good thing because if you have this, the entire brand strategy suite, everything else just follows. It's very seamless, it's very smooth, and it helps the copywriter in a way that they know how to arrange these words for that specific brand. And yeah, it's just a nice combination to have.
Yeah, for sure. Do you think about like your creative process? Like do you because my other thought was like when I've never really I'm the reason I'm like doing this is I'm like asking like a lot of people questions about their process and how they do is because I've never actually worked directly with a designer on
Mm-hmm.
a website project. It's always been either I hand off the copy to them and they're like, okay, great, I'll let the when I get a designer, I'll do it, right? Because sometimes they hire me, but they haven't
Yeah.
hired a designer yet.
Yes.
Or I'm subcontracting, so I'm not really speaking to the client, or I'm working for an agency, so I'm not speaking to the client. So, and I want to get more into working with designers and
Yeah.
doing more of that kind of stuff, right? Because it's fun, and I really like website copy, like from beginning to end completion. That they're fun projects to do. So, like, um, when you a client comes to you, what's typical? Maybe because you've just been doing this for a couple of years, so maybe you don't have enough data to pull from.
Mm-hmm.
But is it typical, or have you seen like a common thread of like the clients are they already have the copy? Maybe you mentioned this earlier, but they already have the copy,
Yeah.
or have you had someone who doesn't have the copy yet, and you're like, oh no, no, wait, you need to have the copy first? Like, how have
Yes.
you handled that?
Yeah, so if they have the copy, then fine, that's good. But if it needs to be tweaked because we have uncovered a lot on their brand, like a brand core, brand voice,
Yeah.
so it has to be tweaked, I would either suggest them to have it revised if they want to revise it, or have it, be tweaked a little bit by the copywriter that I am working with. So
Hmm.
it's either that. If they don't have like if they don't have it, like for example they are open to having someone do it for them, I will immediately ping my copywriters so that they can start away before we even start a design. So once the entire brand suite is completed and they said that, yeah, let's have a copywriter do it for us, and then I will immediately send it to them because it could take some time depending on what kind of what kind of voice they want to implement. It may take some time as well on how many pages the website would need. Like if they have blogs, if they want their services to be, dissected one by one, if they want their about us to be, flared up, like something really outstanding. So yeah, it really depends on that, but that's how I normally work with people.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because for me too, I need to have a lot of client research in order to like,
Mm-hmm.
know what's best to write. Because you want to be speaking to those clients, right? You don't want to be speaking just about the brand and want to speak to who's wants to buy from the brand. So that's a big piece for me as a copywriter is like, is there voice of the customer data? Do we have customer research? Do we have feedback surveys? If we don't, then let's back up a few more steps to get that information so I can write copy that, converts pretty well. So
Yeah. Yeah, and it's nice that you mentioned that you base as well, aside from the tone of the brand, that you base it as well on the way that people or how the people should be perceiving the copy, because that's right. It's a part of the branding process as well. We do market research just so we know that we are, of course, we want to make sure that the right people are attracted. So there is this type of bucket that they are already searching for, but on that process as well, you want your client to stand out from that bucket. So
right.
we need to make sure that it is within that bucket, but they are unique inside that bucket. So yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, and the people who like have I saw this on an Instagram post and it was like I was thinking about it actually. So then I saw it and I'm like, Instagram's reading my mind. But the like the um like people who are like in like banking or finance or are lawyers and stuff like that, and they think like, oh, I have to be boring because I have to sound professional. It's like you don't have to sound boring and professional. You can sound fun and professional or casual and professional or like there's other ways to make you stand out and not have to like go in like the boring old white guy, trope.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh
yeah, yeah. Correct, correct. You're correct on that. Yes, and I see a lot of on that note, I see a lot of these brands that really miss the the core of their brand, because they want to be enriching. They want to be what do you call this? They want to be manifesting this type of abundance, and they spread it out in a very for the lack of a better term, ununique way. So yeah, that's just sad. And having a copywriter really helps, because they will be able to dive in for you. They will be able to unleash those words that you do not typically think of.
or that chat GPT thinks of. I have to throw that in there.
Yes, 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 yes. Oh my God.
I see like all the posts right now, even on like We Meet and on my Facebook feed. I can tell that someone copy pasted Chat GPT, and maybe if they didn't, they're being heavily influenced by what is
Hmm.
out there right now because the formatting is
Yes,
very similar. It's
yes,
like this, three words, a column, and and the voice, that voice, it's like hard to put a
yes,
finger on tone of voice. It can be, right? But it
yes.
all sounds like that Chat GPT voice, and
Hmm.
there's not like italics and exclamation points and capitals and like just the personality,
Yes.
and yeah, you could Chat GPT your entire website, but you'd be doing yourself such a disservice, not just to
Mhm.
yourself, but to the people who are looking for your services, right?
Yes.
Because there's so much that goes into writing that copy, like you were saying, like the market research, and you can't
Yeah.
do that on with AI. I mean,
No.
you can't. Like you need the
Yes.
human.
Yes, you definitely need a human. And this is one thing that my partner and I really agree into, that the creative part of anything, of any type of service, it should not be created by AI, because it's creative. AI cannot be creative. AI
Yeah.
cannot imagine. AI cannot be simply they cannot create. They can help you like with like data scraping, information scraping, but they cannot be creating for you.
Preach, preach. So when you're working with a copywriter, I was curious about as everyone's process is different. Um, like, well, I guess we said this earlier when they're clients coming to you, they have your they haven't had a brand strategy yet. Do you bring a
Mhm.
copywriter in if they also like to do strategy, or do you normally just like do the strategy and then hand it off to the copywriter, kind of like, relay race it, tag team it?
Yeah, so I would really like to go one-on-one with a client regarding strategy. Um, and then I would go one-on-one with the copywriter, telling them that this is the direction that I want, this is the
Yeah,
direction that we want to really follow through. And then you think you are the copywriter, you know what's best to do with this information that we're giving you. Yeah,
right. Yeah. No,
yes.
that's cool because I was wondering too, like when, how often the one-on-ones come in. And like I said, in my instance, it's always been just kind of separate. I've never gotten a chance to talk to the website,
Mm-hmm.
designer
Mm-hmm.
or developer. So I always usually I hand my clients a Figma wireframe. And then
Mm-hmm.
I say, and they either do it themselves because they don't want to hire a designer, which is always a mistake,
Yeah.
or but I can't like force them, right? I can only encourage them. Or they hand it off to someone like later because it's like, okay, this is done, but I'm not gonna really publish it till like a month from now or whatever.
Mm. Yeah, that's
So
sad. That's sad.
that can happen. Yeah, do you ever do like design sales pages or landing pages? Or do you like to mainly just do like big website projects?
Yeah, so I do as well. It really depends on the need of the client. So if they need to be like a single thing that to be done for this page, they don't need the website at all. They just need a landing page that does this one thing for them. And landing page works that way. It's the beauty of a landing page. It's either just getting leads, or it's either for selling. So that's the target point of a landing page. So yeah, I have worked with landing page only, and it is actually very fun because you have only one direction, and that is the point or the goal of the landing page, either to scrape or to gather leads or to sell. So you do not have to heavily strategize, I guess, in the entirety of the brand. It's just how to deliver the brand along with that specific goal.
Hmm. Yeah. I was asking because if I want to put you on my referral on my list of, people to refer to if I that comes up. So which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
something that you do. Cool. Wow, we're like cruising through this conversation. Okay, good. Do I have anything left? No, because like my other questions are for copywriters. So like I
Mhm.
said, it's my first time doing designer. So my other question was, but it doesn't apply because I'm looking
Mm,
at it. The question I'll tell it to you though anyway, because I don't know
yeah.
if you do this or not. I was asking the other copywriters, I said to the copywriters, if a designer has like a website in a week or VIP week package, do you find that challenging to work around? Or if that's the case, you just hand the copy to them before their official week starts. And what the copywriters were telling me were, what works is basically from the client's perspective, expect at least 2 weeks. And honestly, the VIP week for even a copywriter can't really do unless we have the strategy and the research ahead of time. So there's a lot of things that need to be in
Yeah.
place in order to do something like that, like a huge project that in one week.
Yes.
It's feasible, but there is pre-work that has to happen. So it's not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily a full week. So
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever do anything like that, or if you just stay away from that and try to keep like, 6 to 8 week project, timelines.
Yeah. So I tend to not stick with one website in a week projects. First is I really want to help people dig deep, and you cannot do that if you want to rush things. The website in a week is for businesses who have strong branding already, and they just want something out there to be launched. Yeah. And I have had friend groups or circles that they do website in a week. However, if they are to do it, that's a prerequisite. They have a strong branding. Second is they are okay with template drag and drop, because
Hmm.
that's the normal that's the usual flow of a website in a week. You are the designer will show you like a set of preset layouts, and then you just pick on them. Like for the hero page, these are the I have three options here, pick one. And then
Hmm.
the about page, pick pick from this five and all that. So that's the normal way to go. And then the third one is they should have all the prerequisites already in hand. The custom photography, the copy, if they have videos, that should be provided pre-hand before they even start the week process.
Right. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that. That is such a good list. Was that
Uh-huh.
three? What
Yes.
were the three?
Yes.
Can you say it one more
Three.
time?
Three.
Three was
First one is they have a strong branding already. They have the guideline in hand. Second is that they are okay with coming to terms to a template type. Third is they should have all the prerequisites, the copy, the custom
recording.
photography,
I'm
the video.
recording. Yeah, that is really, really good advice. Okay, so my last question is for the people, small business owners who are rebranding, who are ready to either launch a website or relaunch because they've got their branding ready, or they're just ready to get a better website or new website up. What would you suggest are what would be like, you don't have to give me three, like,
Mm-hmm.
but a few green flags for finding a designer and a few red flags
Okay.
as you're looking for a designer.
Yeah.
And it just,
Yeah,
yeah,
sure.
yeah, take your time to
So,
think.
first red flag, I guess, is giving like a price point before even knowing the problem. So, if the designer will give you, for example, you say, I need a logo or I need a new packaging, and then sure, that's 500. Um, that's a red flag for me because what is the size? What's the dimension? What is it for? So, will this be for your main line of products? So, those questions needs to be asked first before you really give something out. So, uh, designers who do not ask are very let I don't want to really um give them a terminology or uh an adjective, but yeah, designers that do not ask are, that they are amateur. They are just there to work, not to really be a strategic partner.
The order
And
takers.
yes,
Yeah.
order takers. So if you really want to, I always say this to anyone who I come across, like in a discovery call or even in Instagram DMs. So if you want to really grow your brand, if you are ready to take that step, to take that course for your brand, the investment that you will put into it, it's not necessarily financial investment. It's the effort, the time, the amount that you pour into it is compounding. It's compounding with your brand. So the more you give into your brand, the bigger it will be. The bigger value it will give you in return. So that's one. I guess green flag is the flip one of not asking you. If a designer asks questions, the good questions, not not the very micro questions. If they're asking the good questions, like what's the goal for this, do you have a guideline in hand for that before we even start with like a packaging, or what is the tone of your brand, who are your audience? So if they are asking that, it's a good sign that you are in the right hands because they know how to strategize with you. They will do the research for you.
Yeah, those are great answers. Thank you so much. Well, I think that's about everything I have. Is there anything else you want to add?
Yeah, that was really nice. This was a really good discussion. I learned a lot from you as well.
Yes.
Thank you for having me here. Yeah.